I'm Mark, and I study commerce.
And I'm Emma. Welcome to Let's Talk About It. Starting at uni is a big deal. It can be tough even without the extra hurdles like being first in your family or a mature age student.
But feeling different from your peers isn't something to hide. So let's talk about it.
So Mark, how did you end up studying at Curtin?
I had a really bad boss. It's one of my old jobs, and one day he just went off at me and asked me, maybe you should think about if you want to be here. And I was like, you know what? No, I don't. So I went back out, shook some hands, and then about a week later I signed up for uni ready to take his job, basically. So yeah, that's the story. That's how I started here at Curtin.
Wow, and what are you studying?
Bachelor of Commerce, and with a major in Logistics and Supply Chain Management.
Now that I've picked my drawer up off the floor, we've got a very serious question for you.
All right, let's do
If
it.
you had to pick an element, earth, wind or fire, which would you be?
Wind.
Do you mind just telling me a little bit more about your transition into university life? How did you find it?
A little bit complicated because I haven't been at school for 10 years, but the Curtin Connect guys sort of helped me guide through that and said, okay, cool, you can follow this process and that'll help lead you on the path that you want to go to. It's nice that Curtin Connect can just simplify everything. So you see the website and you see all the jargon on there and you just talk to a person and go, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
I do love Curtin Connect.
They're so
they're
good.
amazing at their jobs. When you were younger, did you think that you would end up at uni?
My family background, they're all musicians or military. So I'm the first one to even follow tertiary education, let alone university. For me to actually go to university is like kind of a big deal for them.
And it can be really hard as well, because I was the first in my family to go to uni.
Yeah.
And it was really hard to not have anyone to really lean on who had experienced it before. How did you find that?
Yeah, so my mum has to study a lot for her work, so I can get like some study tips from her. She's always there to support, but she doesn't quite know like university standards for things. And so I kind of have to fall back on something like UniPASS, and then they really help you like sort of through like those academic ideas of university.
How did you find actually fitting into university? Were there any culture shocks or challenges that you encountered?
I remember the first O week that I came to, just got my ID card, like, oh, look at me, I'm a student. And I remember just walking around and like the only thought that I had was this place is like alive. There are things happening here. I've never been in any kind of environment that felt like that.
It is very different to the workplace in school.
Yes, very, very. Because everyone's here for the same reason. You have the same motivations because, you know, you're paying real money to be here. But sometimes you do notice that, yeah, I am 12 years older than some of these kids here. Like adapting my communication and that sort of thing to people that are a lot younger than me can be a bit difficult, especially in group work. But once you sort of familiarise yourself with that, you understand that you're all there for the same thing. You all want to study this degree or this unit, and then you can sort of achieve whatever it is that you need to achieve.
Yeah, definitely having those shared aims helps. I completely agree with you. What's the best part of uni for you?
Coming into a course that I already knew what major I wanted to do before I even signed up. Just knowing exactly what my pathway is going to be, knowing what I want to do, why I'm here, and where it's going to lead when I finish my degree.
Do you plan on using your elective units to dabble in anything else?
Any sort of electives or specialisations that sort of make my decision making more broad, so I have an understanding of different aspects of the business that might not be business management, understanding why you would invest in this area of the business that's not related to commerce.
Yeah, understanding all angles of what you're wanting to do.
Yeah, that's it. The business isn't just sit in the office all day, it's everything else that happens out there as well.
Yeah. So we've reached my favourite part of the segment, which is words of wisdom. Do you have any hot tips or tricks you'd like to share with any student from a similar background to you?
You might feel a little bit out of place, especially with all these kids that are straight out of school. They know how to study, they have all the book smarts and stuff, and you might come from a background like me where you haven't studied for 10 years or maybe more. Throw yourself into it. You got UniPASS, you got the library, you got Makerspace.
Yeah.
You've got all of these support networks here. All of your lecturers, they'll all have their email addresses. Send an email to one of them or walk into the office and be like, hey, I need help with this. You don't have to feel like an idiot because you don't understand like the academic world yet. It'll all come to you. You're at a place where everyone's on the same page, everyone wants to learn. You are no different to anyone else. So just go for it.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today, Mark. It's been
All good.
absolutely wonderful.
Beautiful. Thanks for watching this episode of Let's Talk About It.
Make sure you subscribe to Curtin Life to stay in the loop.
Bye.